Welcome to You Are the Answer, the podcast that helps you reconnect with the most powerful healer you know, your own body. I'm Naomi Mills, chiropractor, healthcare professional, and believer in the natural intelligence within us all. In this podcast, I explore what it means to trust your body, decode its signals, and take ownership of your well-being without quick fixes or health fads. Whether you're just beginning your journey or deep in transformation, I'm here to guide you back to the truth. You are not broken. You are the answer. Hello and welcome to episode 23 of the You Are the Answer podcast. Thank you so much for joining me. And we are getting right into our mindset series at the moment. And today we're rethinking productivity. So there's a classic tale that I am going to abbreviate for you now. And it's the tale of a fisherman who's in a beautiful island, sat at the beach, catching his fish for the day. And a businessman out on holiday approaches him. And he asks the guy what he's doing. And he's like, yeah, I'm just catching a fish. And then I'll go and meet my wife and we'll have a walk. And then I'll go and hang out with my friends and play some music. And the businessman cannot understand why this is how the man is choosing to spend his days. And he tries to educate him on good business, on how the man can catch more fish and maybe get more men from the village involved until he has a boat and then perhaps a fleet of boats. And then maybe a canning factory, so he can create all of this wealth in his life. So that if he does really well, when he retires, he can sit by the beach, catch a fish, maybe go for a walk with his wife, and later hang out with his friends. And the fisherman just looks up at him and says, that's what I'm doing. One of the best books I read over the last couple of years is a book called Die with Zero. And it really challenges our cultural idea of productivity, that we just need to work harder and faster for more and more and more. And my own life kind of reflects that fisherman's tale, because for almost 10 years, I owned and ran one of the busiest family chiropractic practices in the East Midlands. We had 10 employees, we had multiple rooms, we were helping many hundreds of people every week. But what I came to realise was the cost I was paying personally for this very fun and outwardly successful life was my own health. I was short-tempered with people, I didn't sleep great, my skin wasn't good, my digestion wasn't happy, I felt under pressure. And I was really not savouring the everyday. And the problem is you're not even often consciously aware of that until you take the time and the space to reflect. And I know I certainly wasn't, which is why I did it for 10 years. So the question I want to ask you, or the question I want you to ask yourself today, is your health paying the price for your productivity? You might already have a very visceral response to that. But here are where some clues might be showing up. It might show up in how much you are doing a process that we call numbing. So you might be spending your downtime shopping, scrolling. It might be eating, just watching television, finding it difficult to just be. Very often in my practice where people come in and I found that their nervous systems are stuck in this perpetual feedback of fight flight, where the body is tense and everything is being held very tightly and the heart rate's slightly elevated and the brain is therefore getting the signal, oh, something's not quite right. What do I need to look out for? So then there's more busyness, anxiety. Then that then creates a similar response in the body. So you're going round and round and round. the homework I will give is to set a 10-minute timer, usually on your phone, and sit and do nothing. And you see them like start to squirm a little bit. And you're not really doing nothing, you're noticing. You're noticing, how does it feel, first of all, in your body to rest, which usually feels great. But in your mind, it's very uncomfortable. It can feel stupid, a waste of time, boring. 10 minutes can feel like an absolute age. In fact, sometimes we need to start with 2 minutes or 5 minutes. And it's starting to notice the stories that we have around productivity. Because in a world where we are almost rewarded for how tired and busy we are, I mean, isn't that the conversation many people have? Oh, I'm so busy, I'm so tired, I'm so busy, I'm so tired. And they're like, well, I'm really busy and tired. It's like social currency. And then you say to someone, I'm not that busy. I've had a brilliant day, just being, pottering, being in the garden, whatever. And you kind of get this, oh. But then that becomes a, And actually, personally, I only spend time with people who are a little bit unusual like myself, who help me reinforce, actually, it's okay to say no to that. It's great to have a morning where you're just off, and you leave the washing unwashed and the tidying untidied because you've read a book, or you've hung out with your dog, or you've phoned a friend, but you've really nurtured yourself. What were you taught about productivity growing up? Did somebody walk into the room and you find you lying on the sofa? Get up, what are you doing? There's so much to be done. What have you done today? This kind of tick list. And don't get me wrong, I love a list. I love ticking things off it. But I'm also aware of when being productive is costing me my health. And that's all anything about the You Are the Answer work is about, is the noticing. It's the awareness. There are always going to be go times, and there also needs to be slow times. And the only way you will change how you approach productivity, and therefore change everything about how your nervous system is working and how you are experiencing life, is just bringing awareness to it and trying to leave the judgment behind, but the awareness of when you are being overproductive to a point that's costing you. So I have some free resources on the You Are the Answer website. These are very simple graphics you can look at, literally like tick boxes of, these are all the physical or symptoms, if you like, signs of my nervous system being in overwhelm or being in fight flight, of it not working for me. Well, it's always working for you, but it's working to keep you alive, like in a survival-y way, rather than the thriving way, which is the cellular repair, the resilience, the strong immune system, all the good stuff, the longevity stuff. The body can't do the longevity stuff when it's in that we need to make it through this moment phase. And all too often we're living in that we just need to make it through today, and then today, and then today. And where does the long-term repair come? The long-term reset, the stuff that's going to keep you fit and active and healthy in all your future decades. And productivity is a really big issue for most of us. There's also a tool on the website called the Your Many Hats. And it's one of my favourite tools and you can download it and use it, or you can just get yourself a blank piece of paper, or even start thinking about it now. What are all the roles that you're taking on in your life? Because you're not just a friend or a parent or a child, and you're probably many of these things, a colleague, a boss, whatever. But are you also the one that plans the food shop and does the cleaning, or takes responsibility for the pets, does the insurances? There's a lot of invisible work that goes on in any household that's just planning and life admin. What hats are you wearing? so many hats. And the more you become aware of this, the more you will be aware, are you the one that puts the bins out? Like, what are all the different things that you take responsibility for in your life? And you can end up with this great big messy piece of paper with all of these things on it. And it really is a reflection of your productivity in a way. And then what you do is you look at that, first of all, to have an appreciation for what you're carrying. It's really good to do this with your partner as well if you have one, because you get a better sense of what that person is also carrying. And then you get to go through and ask yourself, what hats do I want to keep? Which do I want to drop completely? Because trust me, there are things in your life you are doing and being responsible for that you certainly don't need to be and perhaps really don't want to be. So those are the ones you can let go. And then which are the ones that you can outsource? And it might be that you asking somebody else or even paying somebody else to do something brings you back so much more space and time that's going to really make an impact on your health. So a really simple example of that for me is having a cleaner. It's not a luxury. It's not, nice to have. For me, it's essential because that 3 hours a week that it takes to clean my home, which is important for my mental well-being and as well as our physical well-being, to live in a nice clean home. I don't want to be the one doing that because it costs me some of the only hours I'll have in the week to connect with my family or to just be and to respond to whatever my needs are that week. And so I choose with joy to employ somebody else to do that so that I have that time. And that time is really not spent then so I can work more, I can do more. That's the time that I can be more present with myself and with my family. Because that's how I have the capacity to not be short-tempered. It's how I sleep better at night. It's how my digestive system works better. It's how my body heals and repairs and my heart rate stays low and my muscle tone is relaxed. It's about far more than perhaps what you have given it credit for. So when everything comes back to this mind-body connection, to your central nervous system, to keeping yourself regulated and safe and cared for, these are the compelling reasons why less productivity has an equal, if not more important payoff of a healthier, more regulated, happier you. And there is only one you, and you really, really deserve to choose what you're going to do with joy and release what you're not going to. And if this really resonates with you, go back if you haven't already and listen to the last couple of episodes on boundary settings, on pushing through, and all of these mental processes that are really affecting your health, your well-being, and how you experience life. And of course, join me next episode because we are going to keep delving into mindset. We're going to be talking about your circle of control, really interesting one, and projection, carrying emotions that aren't yours. So I will look forward to speaking with you next week. Thank you for joining me on You Are the Answer. If today's episode sparked something in you, share it with someone you care about and leave a review to help others find their way back to their body too. For more tools, inspiration and resources to support your journey, head to www.youaretheanswer.co.uk. And until next time, stay connected, stay curious, and remember, you are the answer, and you always have been.